Hey y'all, it's Snoop Dogg, and you're listening to the Stories, Sports, and Sarcasm podcast.
Ladies and gents, this is the moment you've waited for.
Fire it off, Keith.
Okay,
Let's go.
fired off. Welcome to the Stories, Sports, and Sarcasm podcast. I'm Keith, along with my friends Jim and Bird. What's going on, fellas?
What's happening, guys?
Survived Keith's birthday weekend. That's
Holy
that's
shit!
That's an
I
accomplishment right there.
I barely survived it. Heather was pretty mad at me Saturday morning. I was heavily hungover. She was mad at me Friday night too. I was heavily hungover. I puked. I hit every flat spot in my bathroom.
Oh,
I cleaned it up. I cleaned it up about 4 a.m. Saturday. I remember washing my air vent out in the sink.
air vent.
Yeah, the air register in the bathroom.
Gosh.
Yeah. I am the kind of person that always gets to the bathroom, always gets in front of the toilet. I'm not sure how I got it was on the wall, it was on the floor, it was on the back of the toilet, it was on the door, it was in the sink. I almost had to take the damn flooring out. I had to repaint the trim. It was fucking everywhere, and I don't even know how that happened. In my defense, and I don't know if this is my defense or not, I had been drinking since 1 o'clock on Friday. So
When was your birthday?
Friday.
my birthday was Saturday. You
But he
forgot
started
to send me my annual message.
I didn't. Facebook did not alert me. That's how I know when people's birthdays are.
Shocking, because there were 37
get-
other people that
Maybe
sent me a
CompuServe was
message.
down.
Hold on. Let me see here. Let's go.
That was before my Facebook got hacked.
hacked.
It was hacked. I've got
They're told to get off.
$100. I got $100 in invoices where they had done ads in China.
Is this your dad? A picture of you. This is the Chinese weather balloon.
Yeah,
Whatever
the
you
Chinese weather balloon downloaded my information and hacked my shit.
Well, I did post your Wi-Fi password out on the dark web, so maybe the. So Keith did have a good time on his. We all went to Sloopy's. We actually had Jordan with us, Puerto Rican Brown himself, and
We sent Jordan home with a girl.
yeah, sent Jordan home with a girl.
Four of
Now,
us went to Sloopy's, 3 of us went home.
So
I had to pick Grayson up the next morning. I went and picked him up. Like, I Ubered his ass home after I picked up Grayson.
There's your belated happy birthday, Keith. Are you happy now?
by the way, I mentioned his birthday in the last show.
Yeah, Jim.
You couldn't remember 24 hours.
Fucking
I guess
real.
not. No, apparently not. It shifted.
So Keith comes out of his semi-retirement from you got to enable sharing. You got to enable sharing. This is
Oh crap! I thought I did.
so,
that.
so Keith and Jordan are kind of wrangling this chick in, right? And this is a former acquaintance of Keith. They went to a hockey game at one time, and I know
There you
that
go.
because she
Sharing time.
presents on her phone a picture of her and Keith at a hockey game to Heather. By the way, if you're not sure why Heather was mad, that was part of it. So
Why everything that Keith does, there's more. He's like an onion. He's like, I don't understand why people get so upset with me. And then as you tell the story and you talk to more people, you dig down to the core of the matter.
So at this point, Keith comes out of semi-retirement, right? Because we all know Keith as the all-time leader in hitting threes, right? There he is. He's actually been surpassed by Steph Curry and Steve Kerr, but there's Keith at 42.9% completion rate on hitting threes.
Oh my God. So let me back you up here, just so I can for anybody that's listening and myself. So you went to a bar
Yes.
and randomly there was a girl that you used, an acquaintance of Keith's,
An acquaintance, yeah.
A friend.
a friend.
She'd been humed, right?
No, that is untrue. That is 100% untrue.
You don't even know how I use that as a verb. It could have meant anything.
And so I'm going to assume that this person is at that bar a lot because the odds of that happening in a city is pretty.
Far more often than I'm there.
Well, that's what I meant.
Yeah.
That's-
Yeah, a lot.
Well, this is a bar fly. Just
Yeah, it's tricky, but yeah.
she's smoking Camels.
Yes. Yes, actually.
Okay.
The Black Pack.
Oh,
Right.
okay. I know who it is then. Yeah.
Yeah. So they both Keith and Jordan end up kissing her on the lips in front of Heather, which, by the way, again,
Oh,
yeah. So Keith, he was drinking.
In my
I don't
defense,
understand why she was mad at you, Keith.
no.
I know.
My defense, I don't remember any of that.
That's your
Yes,
defense.
because you were downing
That's my
blue moons
defense.
every 15 minutes.
Oh yeah, this place, Jim, you've been to this place.
Oh,
The highest bar tab I've ever had at this place was $40.
what's it
That
called?
night, Sloopy's. We went to karaoke. You went there. With
Oh,
us.
yeah. Oh,
That was the night. That was the
shithole.
night that Hannah got in
Yeah,
an
yeah.
argument because I had wanted to do what I
They
wanted
have
to do on my
carpet
birthday.
in there.
Yeah,
Something
they do.
carpet.
It's the same carpet.
Yeah.
It's
You know, it's a classy bar when they got carpet.
technically it's blue.
Okay.
I've never seen
Was
any
blue.
blue in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, at some point there was blue in it. No.
Okay.
My
So how
bar
did
tab
this get
that
to the
night-
point
my
where
bar tab that night was $140.
how did this go from running into an acquaintance to her showing pictures of her and you to your current girlfriend?
I remember showing
Kissing her on the
pictures and
lips.
somewhere
You showed her pictures?
I ended up in Bert's car.
I drove there, right? So I still dry, right? Still drinking my
Yeah.
non-alcoholic. But so I'll be the driver. And by the way, I've done this before, so I knew exactly what to expect.
Every
I'm
time
picking up-
Bert and I go out, he's the driver.
and it's I didn't hit anything, so there you go. But so
There's
I
that.
don't think Heather was ready for what was about to happen. Right? She wasn't expecting that Keith was going to guzzle Blue Moon as fast as he possibly can while trying to hook up Jordan with one of his acquaintances, who then happens to show Heather a picture of Keith and her at a Blue Jackets game after they both kissed her. Right? So
that
yeah.
was after.
I'm not sure I'm not sure when things occurred. I do know that Heather was mad at some point and she signed up to be an Uber driver.
Well, yeah. So, yeah, at a certain point, Heather's like, she's on her phone. She's like, "How does this Uber app work?" And I'm like, "Honey, you're trying to become a driver."
Was she drinking heavily at the time also?
Not as heavily
Heavily
as
enough. Yeah.
yeah.
No.
That's always the best way for a couple to get into a fight is both of you just drink to your
No,
plaster
and
run into an ex.
Yeah, she handled it admirably. She was upset, clearly, which she had every right to be.
Well,
She has not beat me up about it. She's explained that it wasn't acceptable, which obviously it wasn't. I didn't know about it until the next night. I had no idea it had even happened until people were over at our house hanging out for my birthday, and she's like, "Oh yeah, this happened." And there's a swarm of people in my kitchen.
Bert, the next time this happens, just text me immediately when you realize what's the situation, and I will drive there immediately.
That one night,
This
everything all right. Yeah,
I can't
so-
believe I was not sent a notification about what was about to go down.
I try not to drag others into shit shows, so no, Heather did handle it very
we-
well.
like
I'll
we
give
got
her
in the
credit.
car, we're driving home. We're driving from Hilliard to where I live. And about the time we got to Grayson's school, which is 15 minutes from my house, me in the back seat by myself, I'm like, oh, I'm about to blow a motor all over Bert's brand new car.
Well, it's an old Jag, but yeah.
Yeah.
The Jaguar.
I'm about to blow a motor
Jag.
on the Jaguar. So, and so I was sitting back there and I just leaned my head back and closed my eyes. And that's the only way I made it home. Heather's like, let's go to bed. And I said, I'm just going to stay right here. And I slept
I
on.
stay right here. I got to text a few people.
Yeah. So I stayed on the couch and I got the spins and I made it to the bathroom. And what I thought was hitting the toilet was hitting everything in the bathroom except for maybe the toilet.
Some might have splashed in there by accident.
Right. So yeah, it was ugly. So next morning I woke up and I was like, oh, this hangover is about to be tomorrow's problem. So I hit
Like a Sunday problem.
Yeah, it's a Sunday problem. I hit a couple of shots of bourbon, cleared that hangover right up. And I'm not suggesting that I got up at 7:30 and was drinking bourbon. I got up at 11 and it was hairy. It was real hairy.
So you just kept rolling right through Saturday then.
Yeah. So I was supposed to pick up Grayson at 9. I text Shelly at 10 that I was going to be late. Went and I picked him up at 10:30, got home, hit a couple pops of bourbon just to take the edge off of the hangover.
Yeah.
Through that day, people came over. We had a pretty decent evening, aside from the fact that I found out a lot of shit about Friday night that I was unaware of.
That is great.
I'm glad
This
you
turned into an
right.
intervention.
So then we went to church Sunday, and then one of our friends from church came over, and we got into the bourbon a little bit more. So between Friday at 1:00 and Sunday night, it's pretty hairy.
So did Jordan take the acquaintance with him? I mean, how did that?
No, the acquaintance took Jordan with her.
Oh,
I went and picked up Grayson, and then I drove over and picked up Jordan at her house.
well, I
Yeah,
know this
Puerto Rican
person.
Brown.
I don't know if you've met her or not.
So that was.
We could shoot her. We could shoot her the link and see.
Sure, go ahead. Bring her on.
You may not like the fact that I called her a 3.
Yeah. Facts are facts. Can't deny the math.
Oh my. Well, sounds like you had a good time.
Yeah, it was fun.
It's all
So you-
right.
So you were told.
Right.
I'll know you had a good time, Keith.
It was
Al
such a
knows you had a
time.
good
It
time,
was such
Keith.
a good time that I called Bert Monday. I was like, "Are you mad at me?" Like I knew she was mad at me, but I was like, "Bert, are you mad at me?"
No, I was completely. I understood I understood the assignment. I was.
Well, hopefully you have some pictures and videos to use at some point.
I have some videos.
No, Bert, I mean.
No, but I have some videos. I think I got from Jordan.
What was her name?
Oh, I don't know if we
Emily?
want the videos from Jordan who took 3 home with them.
Oh,
No.
Jordan's got all kinds of pictures. Oh, by the way, that Alshon Jeffries sweatshirt or jersey that Keith had,
Yeah.
she almost fit in it. The Eagles, Moo.
Is that why you didn't take her home? Because she wouldn't fit in the Jaguar?
Is it Emily? What was her name?
Elizabeth.
Joining now from is Elizabeth. Hold on, there she is. Hi, Elizabeth.
Oh, there she is. Oh, yeah, I do remember her. Yeah.
I think that is the second time I've heard that joke from Bert because I think Bert sent that to me in a text.
What the picture,
Yeah,
or that she wouldn't fit in the 4X shirt.
she almost did. You're such a dick, Bert. Oh God, I gotta be sure that I block Heather from seeing this.
There's
No,
yeah.
actually I was sitting across the table from Heather and I sent that to Heather. That's why you've seen that, because she showed you the next day. Yeah.
That's possible. Entirely possible.
But yeah, I had a good time because I knew what I was, like I said, I knew what I was in for.
Thank
right?
you for listening.
You know what? I don't know this person, but I think that I know who this person's sister is. Do I?
No.
Okay, so it's not. I don't think. Okay, never mind.
Well, at least I don't think she has a sister. She might. Hold on.
Well, there was.
Oh no, it's not Becky and Carrie.
Okay, all right. All right.
Ooh, yeah.
Keith likes some women like he likes his football jerseys. 4X.
Wiped the tears out of my eyes after that one, Jim.
No, it took me a second to realize what
big
you're
one.
talking about.
It's going to take an hour to get through 11 minutes of total runtime after this when you edit all the stuff you can't put
Oh
out
my
on
God.
the web.
We're gonna start right now, apparently.
Right. So I'm still going dry. I'm drinking some Elvis juice by Brewdog, but it's the gosh darn it.
Yeah, the Sesame Street. Big Bird got you.
But yeah,
Hold it in front of your face.
hold on. But still drink I still went with dry. I don't know why. There we go. A little Elvis juice. That's actually really good. I do miss alcohol a little bit now.
You really missed it Friday night, probably.
I know I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't miss it at all.
Yeah. Well, I'm on water tonight because I'm old and
Really?
it's time for the yearly labs tomorrow.
Oh.
Tomorrow, so yeah, I didn't think they'd want bourbon in my blood alcohol, or I mean, my blood.
Your alcohol blood.
Are you getting the whole shebang bang done? Are you getting the colonoscopy tomorrow?
No, not tomorrow.
forbidden
You're gonna have
hello?
somebody stuff their finger up your ass?
Not tomorrow. No.
Not tomorrow.
You don't have to go see
It's not
Dr.
like
Hook?
your Friday night, Keith. No, I'm not having colonoscopy done.
So
All right.
yearly checkup, or we?
Yeah, yearly checkup. Check the fluids, look under the hood. Normal scan or normal routine. It kind of ruined my evening when I got the message about the reminder. Damn, I guess I'm drinking water tonight.
Well, I am on
I gotta do the show sober. Come on.
Angry Orchard.
Yeah.
Well, this is the fifth one.
Oh shit. You know
That's
what?
the fourth one.
You
That's the
really-
third one. The first two are still upstairs. So
you're really hitting the ground running now that
Yeah.
you're back off of the dry January.
listen. I don't want anybody to think I'm a quitter.
Dry January to the February flood is what you did, right?
Right? Oh man.
February flood. I have not got Dean's excuse of the week.
Oh,
Okay. Wow.
So we'll he's texting me, but it's not about the excuse. So what's your weight loss update, Bert?
actually, I'd gotten to 25 off, but now I'm at 22 again.
22.
Yeah, 22 pounds total. I
Okay.
still feel pretty good.
I too am down 22 pounds, which is 52.4% of a Grayson.
Nice.
It was like, I think yesterday, I lost 7 or 8 pounds yesterday. It was like, I didn't eat lunch. we had breakfast. I didn't eat any lunch. I had a sensible dinner. And
You sound like
yeah,
a Weight Watchers commercial.
when I got on the
Have a shake for
scale,
lunch and a sensible
yeah,
dinner.
yeah, when I got on the scale last night, I'm at 250.2, which is exactly 22 pounds down.
You should have taken a picture of whatever you shit, because that's probably a record.
Not a record. We went to Texas Day Brazil, and I ate about 15 pounds of meat one time. That was the record. That was a triple flusher. That's what I
I'm
got.
guessing you were
$8 at that
sweating.
place.
We went for the first time I went was last year at Valentine's Day. And I think it was $130 or something like that. And then we went before we went and saw Dusty Slay. And the first time I went, I spent too much time at the salad bar.
They have a salad bar there. I don't think
Got a salad bar. They don't want you eating 14 pounds of meat like I ate the second time I went there. So,
yeah.
They got this little card. It's green on one side and red on the other. And they showed it to me and I'm like, you don't need to show me the red side. I'm going to sit here until you throw me out. And the second time I didn't spend as much time at the salad bar, so I was able to really pack it in.
Well, the salad is you have one, just lay a good base.
Well, they've got this. They got some soups up there. I had the lobster bisque, and it was good. And then they have a potato dish that is really, really good, and it's hard to not eat a whole bunch of it.
Wow.
They fill you up on crap and not the meat.
Yeah, so I got a little portion of the potatoes that are, like I said, are fantastic, and a little bowl of the lobster bisque. And the rest of the time, they were bringing me every kind of fucking meat they could find. They were stabbing rats in the parking lot and bringing them in.
That's if Golden Corral does the whole Brazilian steakhouse.
Well,
rat
so
stabbers.
they've got Texas Day Brazil is one, and then the other one, I can't remember the name of the other one. And I think Heather thinks the other one's better. It used to be downtown.
The buffet. Do you remember the Andy Reid face mask during COVID? Where it kept falling up when he was on the sidelines. You've not seen that?
No.
Rodizio Grill was downtown, by the way.
Rodizio. I think Heather thinks Heather said Rodizio is better. I don't know if that's true, obviously, because I've only been to one of them. I think next week we're going to the Melting Pot. And I've only been to the Melting Pot once. And I think it's crazy how much they charge for it, for them to bring out food and you to cook it yourself in a pot of hot water.
So I've got a good story about Melting Pot. It was after I left Time Warner, which wasn't voluntary, right? I was fired. Thought I'd clear that up. But so I got fired from Time Warner, and I was looking for jobs, and Insight Global.
We agreed to disagree that I should still work there.
Yeah. So the long story short is I sent what's called a net message, and it was an old form of communication on Windows 2000s boxes, right? So
Jim knows about that.
It said Jeff Foster likes little boys. Sorry, Jeff, if you ever listen. But so I used a star character, right? So, the little asterisk character. And apparently that meant it was a wildcard character, which named every computer in the entire network, which was 8,800 computers from Columbus to Athens, Ohio, right? So not Roadrunner.
So you renamed all of the.
I just sent a message that popped up that said Jeff Foster likes little boys. So So they said, hey, they started sweating Jeff. They were like, Jeff, we know you know who sent this. You got to tell us or you're going to get in trouble. Jeff was stand up. He's like, nah, man, I don't know who sent that shit. And I'm like, well, Jeff's getting sweated, so I have to admit it. So I admit it. They're like, hey, we're going to give you a 2-day suspension. We'll see you in 2 days. Well, when I was gone, they sent me a certified letter that said, don't come back, right? Your services are no longer needed. Jeff Foster actually doesn't like little boys. So whatever. Well, I start looking for jobs. I'm on, I think it was at the time monster.com or whatever what the jobs hunting site was. And I get this random letter from Insight Communications. They were one of the other cable companies in Columbus. And it said, we're not going to hire you. I'm paraphrasing, but it basically was like, your services are not needed. Please don't apply. You know, something about Jeff Foster, right? So that we're talking like that's been 20 years ago now. 20 years ago that happened, right? And I moved on with my career. Keith and I worked together at some point during that time, and I started working for CBTS or Cincinnati Bell. And they Insight reaches out to me. They said, hey, voice over IP, we'd love for you to come in and interview. And I'm like, really? Okay. They said, we'd love to take you to lunch and just talk. I said, great. I'd like to go to the Melting Pot. And they're like, the Melting Pot? That's really expensive. I'm like, yeah, so am I. So these dumbasses take me to the Melting Pot at Easton, right? And we're sitting there and I'm eating swordfish. I'm eating whatever. Like, that looks expensive. I want 2 of those, right? And I am just mowing it down. And so they want to talk business. We're about 3/4 of the way through this. And I am telling you, I have bellied up to the nice one, Keith. Yeah. I've bellied up to the table, and I'm at the point where I need to unzip my pants, right? And the recruiter is trying to talk to me. I'm like, hold on, let me get another bite here. And then his manager's also there. His manager's like, all right, so what would it take for you to come over to Insight Global? And I look at him, I go, hey, you know what? And I think it was like 2001. I got this letter. And I just see the recruiter's face drop. He knew the letter. Oh. And I said, you guys would never hire me. So, yeah, I don't think so. Hey, by the way, thanks for the food. I got up. I slid my chair out. It was super loud. And I was like, thanks for the food. Talk to you later. And I just left.
Oh, my gosh.
I think I spent...
Just sending letters to people telling them randomly, don't apply here.
Yeah. You haven't applied for a job.
Right.
I shouldn't.
Yes. Just in case this crosses your mind, don't.
Yeah. Got that same letter from the NBA. You're 5'7" and white. No, thank you. Yeah.
That's nuts.
But yeah, that was my Insight Global, or my Insight. That was my my Melting Pot story of going there and wasting a lot of their money.
Well, little Keith's mom, that's been a long time. We went there for something. I don't know. Probably something important. Maybe not. I don't know. And it was $100 or more. And they bring you raw food and you stick it in some warm water. And that's how I don't know. I can grill shit at home and it doesn't cost me near that much. I just don't understand. It doesn't register to me, but apparently it's romantic to boil your food with your wife
at $75 a plate.
Right. So I think that's where we're going next Thursday. I went online today to make reservations for Valentine's Day. So we've got a 4:45 next Tuesday.
Oh, nice.
Right after Wheel of Fortune.
Right.
Yeah. They're still going to be heating up the oven, so you won't get dinner till 6.
Yeah. We'll be the first ones there. We won't have to wait for a table.
You're going to be waiting for the manager to get there and unlock the cash register.
The complete experience for 2 people is $110 at the Melting Pot. That's the minimum.
on Thursday, there's some kind of, you get like a 4-course something. And it's like $95 or whatever.
Hmm.
See,
Person?
when I was, no, $95 total. When I was in my 20s, married to the older boy's mom, $95 was a big deal. Like a real big deal.
It's a big deal now.
Yeah, that's not cheap.
Anymore. It's not a big deal anymore. Like I said, we went
Excuse me.
Rockefeller. We went to a bar Friday and it was $145.
Are you new to this? You already told us that.
Right. So I mean, it's
Keep drinking Angry Orchards and telling us how $100 is no big deal to you.
when you're older, it's not. Like right now, what you would go out right now and spend on dinner. Think back 40 years to when you were in your 20s and tell me that was a way
I'm not the
bigger
one that just had a 50th birthday last weekend.
So as you get
wonder,
older,
and you wonder why. I'll just.
and I wonder why what.
Never mind. Let's just.
Come on, smart ass. And I wonder why what.
I don't want to. Like 3/4 of this recording have to be cut out because.
Some of it might have to be cut out. Go ahead and tell me what you were going to say,
And
smart
you
ass.
wonder why Heather gets mad at you about the 3 monitors because $100 means nothing to me. I wipe my ass with $100 bills, says Keith.
No, but seriously, if you go, what you spend right now to go out to dinner, you and Ashley go out and have a nice dinner. 20 years ago was a whole lot bigger of a deal when you did it.
Yeah, at 25 years ago, I'd be like, slow down. You don't need extra cheese on your Whopper, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So like me, Heather, Bert, and Rebecca, we'll go out for lunch somewhere. And one of us will pick up the whole check. 20 years ago, we just split the shit out of that. And we would have determined how much of a tip we were going to give based on the type of service we received. But now
one of us would have worked the corner.
Yeah, one of us picks up the check and it's a 30% tip because things are different now.
Look, I'm like cheap. We're still splitting that bill, and I'm whipping out a tip calculator, and we're going to get this figured out.
I'm still cheap, but when it comes to things like that, it's like we're going to go out. The difference between spending $150 and $70 isn't that big of a deal.
No, I'm cheap. When someone in the group orders an appetizer, I'm like, don't touch that appetizer. I'm not chipping in for that.
I did go out to lunch with Jim 3 days after I started working for him, and we split the bill.
Right.
And it was a company credit card.
Right. Yeah.
And it was Wendy's. He's like, I'm gonna have a junior bacon, and this is on a separate check.
I'm gonna have the $4 value meal, and he's on his own.
I have the kids' meal.
Right.
And then we sit down. It's like, can I have some of your fries? No, you can't have some of my fries.
You gonna chip in for them?
8 cents a fry.
Right.
So Saturday, Heather ordered this. She ordered a license plate for the front of her new car because I've insisted that
I have an opinion about personalized plates like I do.
Well, she's got personalized.
Is that a teacher thing? Because it feels like a lot of teachers have personalized license.
She has personalized plates, but her old car had the same plate on the front and the back. And now that that's not the law anymore, which in all fairness, I've never had a front license plate on my car.
No, but you had personalized plates as long as I've known.
I did have personalized plates. But I only put them on the back because I'm not a fucking monster. So I was like,
my head is starting to hurt.
Her car has the front bracket on it, and I'm like, what are you going to put on the front? She's like, my personalized plate. I was like, no, what are you really going to put on the front? Because we're not putting that on there. So she ordered something.
You don't have to, but you can.
Right, but it's got the bracket on it. The bracket the blank bracket looks ridiculous. Like when I get mine, when I get my new car, I'm gonna hope it doesn't have the front bracket on it already.
Okay.
So she ordered a plate to put on there, and as I was putting it on, I stabbed myself in the finger with the drill. It bled for 6 days. It has bled every day
Back it
until
up from the
today.
camera now. We got the message. You could have just
So-
said, stab my finger.
That might be due to the amount of alcohol you consume, thinning out your blood, and
Could have something to do with it.
Why were
Because
you using a drill to put a license plate on?
because the
Screwdriver would
screws,
probably have been good.
the screws that came with it didn't fit in the holes that were already there, and then the holes that were already there didn't have any screws in. So I had to use the new screws that came with it. So I had to drive them in with an impact, and I impacted the shit out of my finger.
Plastic.
I know it's plastic. Mind your business.
What's going on now? What is happening down there in Columbus?
This is Columbus. Why don't you mind your business up there, Mount Vernon?
Oh, you guys are putting license plates on with impact guns and into plastic.
It drives
Personalized fucking
I use
license
an
plates.
I use an impact for everything. If I'm
Giant
driving a screw,
Jaguars.
if I'm using a screw, I'm using an impact. So, like, I have a regular drill that's brand new, has never been used. I have an impact that's fallen off of several roofs. The body of it's broken, and I still use it for everything. So, like, I run a screw into something, it's, and she's like, "Why do you use that?" Well, because it's the right thing. It's the right tool for the job.
Always just hammering it home, Keith. It's worked well for
Driving
you.
it home.
Send it. That's
I
what,
got it.
that's what the guys in the shop say. Where they got a hammer like an axle nut back on. Send it.
One of these cars, I don't remember which one it was. It's like they used that air wrench and they laid into it for, I don't know, 36 hours straight to drive that nut on. I don't know what
Guys,
to use.
Loctite. That's the worst though. When you go get your tires changed at a professional place and then they just drill them on there. They're just there. They're not coming. Like those tires are meant to last forever because they're not coming off. And even the
Right.
impact is crying a little bit.
well,
That-
it's not a professional shop if they're impacting lug nuts on those things.
Right.
Work with
Well,
a wrench, but
I send my shit to you and it comes back and I can't hardly take the damn lug nuts off. I broke the lug nuts on the van trying to take them off.
That's because you use an impact on your pencil sharpener. You've got
Right.
weak, Keith.
yeah, that's not that's because that van is the wheel was probably going to fall off if they didn't.
It
tighten.
might.
That thing's still on the road.
Yeah. Very few problems with it. I need to get a new dipstick for it because the top of the dick stick.
Have another one, Keith.
I have to get a new dipstick for it because the top of it broke off when I was trying to change the oil or check the oil.
Gee.
So now I just add to it every once in a while.
Because you're trying to put the dipstick back in with an impact. They'll never accuse you of doing anything wrong half-ass. If you're going to do
Right,
it wrong, you're going to do it the
whole
whole
ass.
ass. Yeah.
This
Sorry.
was on the show sheet last week. Technological advancements in the next 5 years.
Well, in Mount Vernon, they'll get high-speed internet sometime there.
Hey, we have high speed internet. Have I had any connection issues?
No, that's true. Of the three of us, two of us haven't had connection
Although that
issues.
was the microphone and the headphones causing the problems.
Yeah, right. Your camera caused all kinds of problems that 1 week.
Yeah.
You're like, I can't. Blah, 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 blah. You sound like you were underwater, and you're like, let me change cameras. That should help it. So one of the things that I think is going to happen in the next 5 years is you won't have to charge your cell phone anymore.
Okay.
I think that the electromagnetic currents in the air will be able to keep your cell phone charged all the time.
Yeah. Point
Because
to
like
point
right now
wireless charging.
right now you can take your phone and you can sit it on a charger and it'll charge it. I think it'll be able to just pull that charge from the air.
I don't. Do you really think that? It seems really unsafe. You'd have to
Well,
really crank up the.
Well, the thing is 5G typically is unsafe anyway. If you when they install 5G, they have to wear this special gear to keep them from getting burned.
Yeah,
I think it'll be able to pull
not sure that's
the
accurate.
energy. No, they do. I think it'll be able to pull enough energy out of the air that you won't have to plug your phone in and charge it anymore. It'll just keep itself charged,
Or it could just charge from motion, like.
Yeah, like a
like a watch
does.
does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems a little more safe than using electromagnetic pulses.
I don't
firing
know.
through
Yeah, I don't
atmosphere.
know that you move enough to keep an electronic charged. I think it'll be able to pull energy out of the air.
I
Because
think
your
it'll be a
watch
combination.
doesn't use much energy.
No,
Like
it's
some
spring,
people could get their phone charged.
and their socks dirty. Whatever.
Two birds.
There you go. Just put yeah. You have like a well. I think technology is going to be more
Sleeve,
wearable.
yeah, like a wristband. You put your
Yeah.
phone in there. Time to charge my.
Well, you can't use your phone and charge your phone at the
Honey,
same
what are you doing
time,
in
though.
there? I'm charging my phone. Leave me alone.
Yeah, Samsung batteries already explode when they're overcharged. Could you imagine that? You couldn't give a 13-year-old a Samsung phone.
Hey, son, can you go charge my phone?
Put the case back on it first.
Right.
Put it in a Ziploc.
Right.
I think you're going to find more convenient technology that's
Add
wearable.
your phone's charged, wash your hands, and then bring it to me.
Set it on the counter. Sorry, Burr. What were you saying?
No, I think
Should I text Heather and ask her to bring me another one of these? Because I'm out.
Ask her to charge your phone.
yeah. No,
Yeah, get her. Hey, put her on the unplug your headphones. Just put on computer speakers and have her come down and grab you bring you a beer.
Yeah. Hold on, let me get everything I want to share up.
Let
on
me
the
get right
screen.
on that.
Yep.
No,
I'll just text her. Hey, can you bring Keith an angry
Shoot her
orc
the link.
to the Google Drive?
some things are sacred. We don't go that far, but
No, never.
The Thirsty Beaver podcast will end next week.
Yeah, try to log on the next day. Well, can't log on. I killed it. Keith killed it.
luckily she doesn't find any of us that interesting. So that's
Yeah.
It's true.
This is our 9th show. She has listened to exactly 0 shows.
Oh, speaking of, you know who I found out listens to every one and finds it hilarious?
Who's that?
Jelly.
Shelly Johnson?
We need to give her a shout out on here. She listens to every episode.
our fan.
Yes. Yeah, we all went to dinner Saturday night and she was talking about it.
Your
I don't even remember
sister
what.
listened to one of the first ones. Like she
Listened like a 30-second. She listened to the clip when
on the
Bert
short.
Yeah, we had the microphone gate and all that. But no, Shelly says I listen to all of them. I try to listen to them like the Tuesday they come out. So yeah, shout
Well,
out.
maybe we need to invite her on the show.
Maybe. You may not like what she has to say.
I don't know. I think she's great.
Shelly's
I don't
awesome.
know why she married that jackass that she married, but
Let me tell you, when I've known Shelly since she was 19 years old, and she has picked up Kyle and I and our friends and just drug us drunk dumbasses around for
and when we were down in Kentucky, if shit had turned sideways, she would have pulled us all together and got us home.
Oh yeah, yeah. She'll make sure everybody gets home. She's not may not be happy about it, but she will.
Well, Heather and I are going to Nashville in April. We're
Oh.
going down. I picked a weekend that a couple of my favorite comedians are doing a comedy show at Bridgestone Arena.
Mhm.
And the whole weekend was planned around going to that show, and then we dropped the show because we may not go to it. We're just going to go down there and we're going to see how Saturday plays out to determine if we're going to go to it or not.
Are you staying downtown? Or are you
Um, we're staying not far from downtown. My cousin she lives real close to the airport. So have you ever heard of the country singer Lee Greenwood?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My cousin lives in a house that Lee Greenwood built. Like he lived in there with a couple of his wives. I don't know how many of them, but there were a couple of them there. She lives in that house. So we're going to stay with her, which is 7 minutes or 7 minutes or 7 miles. I don't remember which one from downtown. Her daughter is 22. She's going to be our designated driver for the entire weekend.
I a 22-year-old down on Broadway in Nashville is probably not going to be sober for very long.
The I suggested the last time I went down there, I asked her, I was like, so my cousin's name is Teresa. I was like, and her daughter's name is Sarah. And I adore Sarah. She's the best. I said, hey, Teresa, how old is Sarah? She said, she's 22. I said, I'm going to take her and get her drunk tonight. She said, I don't think you are. She said, you'd have a better chance of getting my son drunk, and he lives in Columbia.
So she doesn't drink, or she just
No, she doesn't drink.
well,
So I told her, I said, we got there and I was like, do you want a drink of this? And she thought she was being a smartass. She said, I only drink whiskey. I said, it's a good thing. This is whiskey. She's like, wasn't planning on that.
well, she's not been to a party atmosphere with Mr. Keith Hume before, so that no
She
drink
hasn't.
is
And
going
I
to
wouldn't advise her to bring her friends around either.
I don't know if she's a listener of the show, but I will send her the link and we'll see what happens.
All right, let's do this NASCAR thing, Keith. Since it was your birthday last weekend, we're going to do your NASCAR.
We're going to do it every week.
Okay.
So fucking get used to it. So NASCAR Clash at the Coliseum. Jim and I were texting through this whole thing. Jim is not a fan.
Well, wait a minute. Through this whole thing, I watched it for 20 minutes. We weren't texting through the whole thing.
We were texting quite a bit. It was more than 20 minutes.
Okay. Well, I like racing.
Right.
NASCAR's
And
okay.
he'll follow racing. He's gone to races with me.
Yeah, I'm not going to sit there on a Sunday afternoon and watch an entire NASCAR. I'll pop in and out.
Right.
But
And I will sit down. I watch the Cup race on Sunday. I'll watch the Xfinity race on Saturday. I'll watch the truck race on Friday. I'll watch practice. I'll watch them qualify, single car qualifying. I'll watch the replay on Tuesday. I'll watch a 1989 race on Thursday. I love NASCAR. Always have.
All right. Are we there you go.
light down. That light was blinding me. Sorry. All right, go ahead.
So I love everything about racing. I went to my first race at Talladega Speedway in 1984. I've been hooked ever since. I could tell you the sponsors of all the race cars before I knew how to read. I got yelled at by my kindergarten teacher, Mrs. Duckett, for being a racing fan, and thank God she's dead now. I'm sure. I'm confident she's
You
dead
can
now
hope.
because she was fucking old and I was 5 and now I'm fucking old, so she'd have to be at least 105 and I'm sure she's dead. I'll try and look her up. I'm sure she's dead. If she's dead, I'll post her obituary on her Facebook page.
Right. All right. So what are we doing? We're picking. How's this work?
Well,
Keith?
what we're talking about, first of all, we're talking about the Clash. You hated the Clash.
We're
For
going
people who don't know, they built a quarter-mile racetrack inside the LA Coliseum.
Which is impressive, right?
Right. And this is the second year that they've done it.
building the track in there was impressive. The race was far from impressive.
Right. Now, California Speedway is where they usually run in Southern California. They run in not Sonoma. Sonoma is where the road course is. I can't remember. Fontana is where they run on the oval. And it's a 2 or 2.5 mile oval. They've decided they're going to turn that into a 3/4 mile short track. And they're going to sell off the rest of the land. But it's going to take a couple of years to build that track. So there are talks about NASCAR running a points race next year at the Coliseum. Not running the Clash and running a points race there.
Is this accurate? The race seemed super slow to me, and I just want to make sure. I just Googled what the average speed at the Clash of the Coliseum was. It says
Probably
29
30.
miles an hour.
Right.
What are we doing, NASCAR?
Well, they ran 40 laps under caution in the first 50 laps of the second half of that race. Like they didn't
Too
get
many
two
cars out there.
consecutive. Well, I think they had 27. They'll probably
Yeah.
run heat races in a feature like they run when they run the Bristol Dirt Race. I think they'll probably
Need
run
about
30 of them.
10 or 12 cars out there for the feature.
Yeah, the
race.
heat races seem to run off pretty well, but it was a shit show that second half of the feature race.
Oh, it was, yeah. Was I watching the first or second half?
I don't remember. I think you were watching the first half because I said when it gets to
Oh, I
80
was because they had a halftime show at a
Had a-
NASCAR
Wiz
race.
Khalifa sang at halftime, which is not your typical NASCAR audience.
How did he choose that name, Wiz?
I
Was he
don't
the
know.
kid that pissed himself when he was, in school?
Maybe.
It's old Wiz.
Yeah. So yeah, they ran 75 laps and then they parked the cars and Wiz Khalifa did a concert and then they took him back out there.
He entertained dozens of fans that were in the stands.
There were
Piss Khalifa.
A little over 50,000 is how many were
There's
there.
no way there was 50,000 people in that.
That's what they say. There was 50,000 there.
They may have said that.
I think the LA Coliseum was built for like 100,000 people. It was an Olympic Coliseum from 1912.
They had the bottom probably 20 rows blocked off. And then everything from there up were available seats. So they had the like the Xfinity banners and the whatever banners they had, the Geico banners were all down there low. But they said there was 50 some odd thousand there. Whether that's true or not, I don't know.
Expecting crowd of 50,000.
I think they sold 70,000 tickets, but how many were actually there? I don't know.
Yeah. So
How many
estimates
went through the turnstiles? I'm not sure.
Estimated 40 to 50,000 were there, and it seats about 60,000. Which isn't NASCAR typically sold out? Like they don't typically have.
Used to be the Daytona 500 next week. They've sold over 220,000 tickets. Bristol used to seat 160,000. They probably sell 70,000 now.
That's Bristol, Connecticut.
I just muted Bert. Bristol, Connecticut. Are you fucking kidding me? You'll have to unmute yourself because I don't know how to do that.
I think it's better when I'm quiet anyway.
No, Bristol, Tennessee.
I've been to Bristol, Tennessee. I've seen the track.
My connection better now.
Okay. Good.
Talladega sells a lot of seats. The Bristol Dirt Race, I think it sells more than the fall race now, which is surprising now that the fall race is a playoff race.
So
The
who
Indy
do we think's
500 sells out, but they only sell 100,000 for the Cup race now.
well, Indy 500 is huge in like with the locals. Everybody I know, all of my coworkers from Indianapolis, that's their thing. That's like their Super Bowl every year.
Right.
So who do we think is going to win the Clash at the Coliseum? I'm going with
the Coliseum already happened.
Oh,
So I'm going to guess that Martin Truex Jr. is going to win that.
Nice.
we should put a bet on that.
That's the guy who actually won the race already. He already won it.
I thought we were predicting. Which one are we predicting then? Which
I'm
race?
not, I'm
Daytona
confused as
500.
to what the format of this is.
Oh,
So the Daytona. So here's the format.
All right.
Every driver is available. Any driver you pick is blocked out for the remainder of the regular season. We're going to take the points that driver earns, and we're going to carry them throughout the season.
Well, wait a second. How many races are there?
26 regular season races, 10 playoff races. We'll reset at the playoffs.
So there's
And
on this list you sent, there's 45
probably.
There's some that have blanks. It just says number 30.
Number 30, there's no driver for. So I wouldn't pick him. Number 84 is Jimmy Johnson. And he's going to only race probably 5 races this year. Daytona 500 being one of them.
We're going to run out of drivers.
I'm going Joey Logano.
So Bird is going to go Joey Logano.
Jeff Gordon.
Yep, that's who I'm picking.
For this week?
For the Daytona 500, Bert's going to pick Joey Logano. Who are you going to pick, Jim?
Who's your next hated driver on your list? People you don't
let me look at the list because I don't think I hate a lot of guys. I hate Joey Logano.
Oh, didn't you hate? He doesn't even drive anymore.
I don't particularly like Ty Gibbs.
Oh, come on. He's not going to win. I want to try to win this.
He's not going to. I don't think he's going to win.
No,
Logano's the guy I hate. I used to hate Denny Hamlin until he wrecked Joey Logano, and now I kind of like him.
Give me Kyle Larson.
You're going to take Kyle Larson for the Daytona 500. I'm going to take Michael McDowell, number 34.
Okay. All right. You're going to keep track of checking people off this list so we don't.
So what you'll accumulate this week is the points that Joey Logano, Kyle Larson, and for me, Michael McDowell accumulate over the course of the season. And then we'll reset our points in week 27 and go for the championship. Do we want to place a wager on this?
I still think we're going to run out of drivers.
You won't, because there's 26 races. No, you can only pick each driver once.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to pick Joey Logano next week, you can. Bert can't.
I want to pick Joey Logano next week.
At Phoenix?
I don't know.
You can pick him next week. He's not going to win Phoenix.
Okay. Was Kyle Larson a bad pick the way you said it? You want to pick
for Daytona? I think Kyle Larson's a bad pick for Daytona.
I love how we're playing a game that you know way more about.
I like with Michael McDowell. I'm not going to pick Michael McDowell anywhere than plate races or road courses.
Exactly. That's
so I kind of laid up. Although Michael McDowell won the Daytona 500 2 years ago.
Aren't they all on the road? Aren't they all like it's all pavement, right? There's no gravel races, is there?
I have to mute him again. Fucking road courses.
Let's play a game where we pick pitchers in baseball, of which I am the only one that know anything about.
And I would be happy to do that if you would introduce such a game. But we're not going to introduce such a
Or why don't we just do soccer where you're a super fan of also?
I know so little about soccer. I can tell you
Got a crew jersey, I see.
I got a Crew jersey. It's right there.
He knows
So-
Messi because he won the World Cup.
I know Lionel, whatever the fuck guy.
You can't be a fan if you can't pronounce his name.
He can't name 5 players on the Packers team, and he's a fan of them.
I know Cristiano Ronaldo.
He's not on the
Not on the
Packers.
Packers.
No, he's not. We're talking about soccer.
Go ahead.
Or what are we talking about? Are we talking
Talking about practice. We're talking
about practice?
Hold on. Tell Heather to bring you another Angry Orchard. We need to keep this rolling. And have her bring you a shot glass too. And grab one of the
Hold on. Give me a second.
bourbons.
I'll add her. Maybe if I can figure out how to
Can
do
I add
it.
her to this?
Yeah, I can.
Sure, you want to do that?
Are you going to behave yourself?
No.
no.
No, then I'm not adding her.
Well, what made you think that Bert and I were going
Don't
to
need.
behave ourselves?
No, I know Bert will behave himself.
Shit, I'd be posting pictures of monitors and
Peer pressure. Yeah. Peer pressure. Bert and I would team up on you.
After this is over, I got to go up and I got to talk monitors with her.
I'm
I'll send
telling
you guys an update.
leave them in the cart, the Amazon cart. If they're there in 3 days and haven't been deleted, just order them.
Well, no,
That's approval to me.
is that what approval is?
Yes.
Here's the problem.
3-day.
Keith has
anything-
trouble with consent, right? We know this.
Here's the problem. If I order them within the next 4 hours and 4 minutes, I'll get them Saturday.
Well, wait, when did you put them in the cart?
Okay, we're ready for Heather to join us. Go ahead, Heather. Come on.
No, I put them in earlier today.
Oh, well, yeah.
So if I order them in the next 4 hours and 4 minutes, I'll get them Saturday.
So do you have any alternative means to fund these? Like, you got a project that you can pay for them with or something like that that gets you out of the doghouse on these?
I sold a whole bunch of bourbon this week.
Oh, there you go. Sold your bourbon. You got cash. You can buy
Right.
your monitors. That's how it
That
works,
was
right?
my idea.
And they've been in the cart, just saying.
Yeah.
Right.
I really want to push that strategy.
You're going to push that strategy.
Well, it's not like a surprise. I mean, I'm sure she's on the Amazon.
Clearly, you saw them in the cart, right?
Right. They've
See,
been
here's
there
the thing: is
3
if I had
days.
3 monitors, I wouldn't have to move shit around to be able to see it. Like I got to move you guys around to be able to see what I'm trying to deal with. It's
Why do you need 3 You don't work from home. You're not in IT. Why do you need 3 monitors?
well. Why do I need 3 monitors?
Yes.
I don't.
Okay.
Why do
you
I want? Because I want to have this immersion to be able to see without having. I have to push a button now to look out the left side of my race car. If I have 3 monitors, I can just look out the side.
I don't know why she gets so mad at you. You're clearly easy to deal with.
Here is my sports sarcasm or story sports and sarcasm podcast race car.
We can't afford to sponsor that.
Yeah. Who authorized that? Was that in the Amazon cart for 3 days?
No. I paid that one out of my own pocket.
The show Amazon cart.
See that right there? The Alabama logo on the left light.
Where Alabama logo goes, it can go right up the ass of the car in front of it.
Cousinly love.
No, I spent cousinly love. I spent almost 2 hours working on this. I'll invoice the 2 of you.
If it wasn't in the cart for 3 days, I'm not authorizing that.
You're not authorizing it. If it was in the cart for 3 days, would you have noticed?
Probably, yeah.
We put something in here that says
Probably
this is
not, because there is some truth to what Bert says about me in technology, because stuff will come to the house. Like I'll go on our Amazon account to order whatever, toilet paper, let's just okay, paper towels. And other stuff will show up. I'm like, where is this coming from? And she's like, it was in the cart. And I'm like, oh, I just go in there, I put what I want in the cart, and then I just order.
You click submit, and everything
Yeah.
that's in the cart shows up.
Now, I have to admit that I do that to Rebecca, but the reason why I do that is because she won't buy it for herself.
Oh,
So then I'm like, no, I go ahead and buy it because it'd be something like she needs, and I don't know, some makeup or something that she is too cheap to buy. So then I'll just go ahead and buy it for her if she puts it in the cart.
Heather will order something. She'll order a $30 or $40 something. And it takes, you order it on Amazon, it takes, I don't know, 25 hours for it to show up at the house. In that
where
25
you
hours,
live, not where I live.
she'll have to order at least $150 worth of shit for me. And she's like, I ordered this for me, and I ordered all this stuff for you, and that's the only way I could justify it to myself. And then I go online and I order $100 of stuff for me, and then I order $150 of stuff also for me. And and she's like, how do you do that? It's like, I don't know. I just fucking click is what I
Yeah,
do.
I
It's
click and it comes.
very simple.
Right. Are you
Have
familiar
not
with
learned how-
Amazon?
yeah, have you not learned how the internet works? It's really simple. You just click on shit, and
We'll have Jim show you.
yeah, they'll send it right to me.
Get my reading glasses out and zoom real big in on my phone.
So she used to. I would go and I would buy something at the gas station, and it was like I would buy something at the gas station, and before I got to my car, she'd know about it.
Keith, I've explained to you years ago how to get around that.
Well, the way I got
Put
around it
Andy
is
onto that, and it changed his life back when we used to work together.
I did it a different way. I took a different path, and that is I bought so much shit that she just turned the notifications off.
Different strategy, but same
So
result.
yeah, it's like I just buy whatever I want, and when she bitches about it, I buy a little less, just like for a couple days. I
You gotta
just
hit
buffer
your limit,
it.
and then you got to know where your stopping point
Yeah,
is. And
I buffer it for a few days, and then I get right back on the normal path. She pulled our credit card thing, like the
Uh-oh.
tells you how much you spent in a year. So 3 years ago, she spent $19,800 on the credit card.
Lord,
Well, that is the whole year. Put everything on the credit card, she spent $19,800. Last year, spent $117,000 on my credit card.
what?
And she's like, "Do you realize we spent that much?" I was like, "Well, remember we did this one thing. We remodeled the house and we put all that on the credit card." Like I'm trying to soften it for her.
Hey,
Fuck you, Bert.
NASCAR champion Joey Logano, 2-time.
2 times.
Yes.
He looks like a jackass. He really does. I'm looking at him on my screen. I'm like, I can see why people would hate him.
I can't stand the way he drives. He goes on a show on Tuesdays on Sirius, and he's a really personable, really funny guy. I just can't handle the way he drives.
I'm surprised that you're not a fan of him since he's won 2 championships.
He's mad because he couldn't buy his jersey.
Right. Don't be so shocked when Keith comes one day and pretends was always been a fan of Joey Logano after he wins his 3rd title and
No,
all crazy.
I don't think Joey
Remember
Logano.
I said that Joey Logano was a good driver, and I was
I don't
a
think
fan of greatness.
Joey Logano is a good driver. I don't like him.
Yeah.
Denny Hamlin's a good driver, but he hasn't won any championships. The guy I really like right now, I like No, I like Martin Truex. When it comes to NASCAR drivers, I want a guy that I could see myself just hanging out and having a beer with.
Okay.
And right now, Martin Truex is that guy. Like I could see completely hanging out with that dude, just chilling out, having a beer, having a few beers.
Having a few
They're
Angleworth,
also
few
they're
Zimas.
also mechanical anymore. It
What?
10 years ago, it wasn't quite like that.
What did you say? They're so what? Mechanic?
Mechanical.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like they've taken a lot of the personality out of it because of the corporate images and shit like that. Noah Gregson, I think he would be a blast. Although he gets into hairy situations and starts puking on himself in the race car.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, he last year he won a bunch of races and he'd get out of the car and he'd have puke all over himself. From
So he's the
like
Keith Hume of NASCAR.
yeah, he gets super tense and just black. It just blows up all over himself.
Yikes.
He he's driving for like what is used to be Richard Petty Motorsports. It's now Legacy Motor Club because Jimmy Johnson bought it. It's the team Jimmy Johnson bought into.
Hey, do you know you can move the blocks, the pictures around on Zoom?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just
I
discovered.
did. Welcome to technology, Jim.
Thanks. Pretty sweet.
So
It-
Can I minimize you, Keith?
so it's the team Jimmy Johnson bought into. I don't think he's going to have to worry about winning many races for quite a while. He's not driving the top team anymore. He's not driving a Hendrick Motorsports car anymore.
Who are you talking about?
Noah Gregson,
Oh, the puker.
the puker, yeah. The Super Bowl is this Sunday. The 500 is the Sunday after.
Super
All
Bowl NASCAR.
Right.
All
Which is
Get
just
that here.
the biggest race that NASCAR has. It's not their championship deciding event like the Super Bowl.
Yeah,
We'll
like
call
every other sport
we're gonna
series
start
does.
we're gonna start the calling the Super Bowl the Daytona 500 of football.
No, that would be you have to do that. You have to NASCAR, the only sport that has their biggest event first.
What is your pick for the Daytona 500 of football? Eagles or Chiefs?
Chiefs.
I
No. Give me Eagles. Eagles.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going Eagles. I don't know what the line is currently. It was 1.5 when I placed my bet.
I
It
think it's
was
still one.
Eagles minus 1.5. Let me check it now.
Did you bet the money line or did you take the spread?
I took the spread. 1.5 is almost a pick 'em. It's still Eagles minus 1.5.
Well, let me take the Chiefs. If you guys are both taking the Eagles, let me give.
I'm taking the Eagles minus 1.5.
All right. Well, I'll just take the Chiefs straight up.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go with the Fighting Randall Cunninghams. That's what I want.
The fighting Randall Cunninghams.
Yeah.
When I ordered my jersey, I ordered a Hurts jersey instead of a Randall Cunningham's jersey. Heads up.
Nice.
They should all be here sometime in mid-February.
Are you gonna send it back if they lose?
No.
Of course he is.
No, I bought
His other collection and wait until they are back in the Super Bowl again.
I did buy Pat Mahomes high school jersey.
That's creepy.
That's
I bought his high school jersey. Yeah.
unbelievable.
Thank you for listening. Our next pod will drop Tuesday, the 21st. For more content, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Spotify, TikTok, and Twitter. The links can be found in the podcast description. If you'd like to leave a message, you can go to anchor.fm/triple-S pod. We will play any of them that we receive
Ever
on the
get?
show. If we ever get any of them, you can also reach out to us on Facebook, and one of us will get the message and we will read it aloud.
You know, at this point, if you even leave an anti-Semitic message on Anchor, we might even play that too.
Probably play it. I don't know that any of us are going to listen to it before we play it. We'll just fire it off and see what happens.
Yeah, run it,
Baba Booey, Howard Stern's balls.
raw dog it out there for all to hear.
All
For
right,
me-
gentlemen.
My plant, Bert, and Jim, thanks for listening.
Bye.
We're out.